Hi everyone, welcome to the incredible Tiny Homes Newport, Tennessee dog park. Beautiful evergreens, lots of space for dogs to run, some cool solar light thingies, even a tennis racket, all for dogs, even water. Here's the fence. This would be the south side of the dog park, and along this fence you can see an incinerator, and that incinerator used to have a smokestack. Let's see if we can find the smokestack. Maybe they covered it up. There used to be a smokestack here. I don't know. Well, like I say, I hope they don't burn anything in there because it's really close to trees. Those trees have really easy to ignite bark. They're cedar trees. At least one of them is a cedar tree. Looks like you've got like maybe a loblolly pine mixed in there too. Some kind of pine. Then we got this trailer here, and the trailer has this yellow tape that goes along one side of it. Not exactly sure what that's supposed to signify. And we've got a trailer right there next to this trailer. Then we got this trailer right here. And then we've got some more of that yellow tape. And the word that's repeated on the tape is caution. And I'm not exactly sure what that's supposed to signify. Then there's this trailer right here. And as you can see, I'm still in the dog park. So I think I'm completely on good legal grounds, literally, to avoid the threat of prosecution that we got sent to us an email from Emily Chapin. I hope that's how she pronounces her name. Chapin? Guess it could be any of those three. Yeah, so we're told that wouldn't want to be on like the worker lot. Well, that worker lot just expands and expands. It expands. It is expanded to the point now where apparently, according to Tom, you can't walk down the south side of the lake anymore. Although I'm seeing some of the women with their little dogs, they're still doing that. Because, well, why wouldn't they? No one's told them that they can't. And the tape just says caution, doesn't say no trespassing. Yeah, like I say, houses, cedar posts, chain link fence, just keeps expanding into the area that we used to think of as open space for the residents. Now they're going to have these trees here. Can't wait to see how those work out. Hopefully they'll keep the limbs cut on the lower parts where you don't bang your head walking on the Milligan Mile right here. This would be the Milligan Mile. That's more of the Milligan Mile. But as it turns out, the Milligan Mile used to, well, let me back up and restart the sentence. The Milligan Mile used to go as far as the eye can see down that gravel paved stretch there, which goes behind what they call the Thunderdome. So those of us who live here used to be able to walk the Milligan Mile in a big circuit that goes all the way around the construction facility on the other side of the, like, it goes through the forest, goes alongside the grove, alongside the beach, past the sales office, past the main entrance, and then it cuts again over into the prairie along the fence line with Industrial Road. It goes all the way to the corner of the property there, and then it has this lovely stretch right through the trees there on the other side of those trees. And there's a fence that indicates the end of the property. So between that fence and those trees is a beautiful little shady lane that you can walk down, and you come out at this point down here at the corner, and then you're into this open stretch of the Milligan Mile. And like I say, you used to be able to walk in circles around as many times as you wanted, but according to Tom, who's I guess third in line in management here after Randy and Amanda, according to Tom, this here trailer was placed here to indicate that this part of the Milligan Mile is now closed to the residents. And anybody walking past somewhere, I don't know what the imaginary line is anymore, because they used to have a piece of yellow tape on the other side of this trailer, but I think the wind blew it away. Last I looked, there was a piece of yellow tape under the trailer. Well, anyhow, you've also got the yellow tape that's next to those little fence posts there, the white-tipped guys. And you'll notice that behind that yellow tape, there's a whole lot of what you might call fuel that could be burned, but I like to think of it more as wood that could be used for something other than burning. I mean, if you look on the side of the incinerator right there, and as it turns out, back in the day when you could walk down the Milligan Mile, you could see that inside that incinerator they've got a lot of, if I remember, they've got a bunch of pallets stacked in there, and then you've got this big stack of pallets here, then you got all those pallets there just kind of thrown every which way, and then a stack kind of in the middle, and then a stack to the left. And all of that's behind a yellow caution tape. And if you go there and try to get a good look to see if everything in that stack is legal to burn, like for instance right there next to the green dumpster, you'll see a cardboard box. And I do believe if you look up Tennessee burning codes, you'll discover that it's illegal under any circumstances to burn cardboard in the state of Tennessee, because cardboard contains chemicals that go beyond just wood, and therefore it could produce, and probably does produce, noxious fumes. Not to mention that cardboard is extremely easy when it's in a burning state to be picked up by the wind and carried, I don't know, over to like a stack of cedar posts with that really, really amazingly flammable bark, if you want to call it bark. I'd call it tinder. But the stuff on the outside of those trees, you get a piece of cardboard that's lit, comes over, drops there, that pile of wood could go up in flames. And so we've been trying, one of us, me, has been trying to impress upon management that it may not be a really great idea to burn cardboard in that pile there. So as you can see, it's there, and as you can see, there's other stuff down below that pallet that the cardboard's sitting on that looks to be plastic, looks to be like maybe a styrofoam cup, could be a cardboard paper cup. There's just enough stuff there that's not the actual kind of wood that you can legally burn to kind of make you question, why are people placing things in an obvious burn pile that would be illegal to burn if you actually lit them off? It's just one of those, and yeah, right behind that stack of behind that stack of pallets to the left, you can see a very shiny, glistening piece of plastic that, again, should not be burned if you're trying to cross all your T's and dot all your I's and just do everything according to Hoyle, right? So it's such a curious thing. Tom told me they're not going to burn the stuff, but then later he told me they are going to burn it, and he told me he actually was going to get a permit to burn it, and he told me that the fire people in the county are totally okay with what they do. But then he told me that they came out and looked, and they actually said, well, you're okay now as long as you're not burning, but if you were to burn this, it would be illegal, some of the stuff you're burning. So I don't know. At one point he said they weren't going to burn any of it. He said it's all going to go into a dumpster. which is strange because there's the dumpster right there. But every couple of days, this pile gets bigger, and for some reason, the pile gets bigger instead of the things going into the dumpster. Now, what was really curious was to hear from a woman who just did a tour of her home that Randy is giving her pallets, which the reason that's curious is because we're begging Tom to give other people pallets, and Tom's just insisting that that's just something they haven't got time to do. So kind of speaks to the issue of loosey-goosiness when it comes to our safety, when it comes to fire safety, when it comes to air pollution safety. And also it speaks to this clique sort of mentality among the management here, that some people can get favors, free things that are going to be thrown away or burned that people might want. If you're sufficiently complimentary towards ITH management, you might be able to get pallets to use for projects in your home. But if you're not sufficiently complimentary or worse, then you can pretty much be guaranteed that you're never going to get any of those little scraps that have value, more value than if you just burn them and infiltrate people's homes with smoke. It's a beautiful day here at the end of October. I saw a relative's pictures from Utah where they've got snow on the ground, and I'd rather be in this weather than that. But there's times when I'm not so sure that I'm really happy to be here.